Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And in this case, we're talking about roofing and veterans and so much more. We're honored to be joined by Valerie Wakefield, Marketing Director with Intercept Roofing. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just happy to be here.
Well, we have a lot of ground to cover, especially when it comes to roofing. And so let's start with a little bit of history about Intercept Roofing. Give us some background.
Yeah. So we have three owners. They'd all been in the roofing industry for a long time, and they just kind of felt like something was missing. There's such a stigma behind contractors, and the idea of Intercept Roofing was just kind of born from breaking that stigma, just having an honest, reliable contractor that you can have full transparency with. And yeah,
the rest is history.
Yeah.
So when you talk about transparency, let's start with what you do. So talk about residential roofing, repairs, paint the picture of all your different services.
Yes, so we do residential and commercial roof replacements as well as repairs. We also do gutters and siding works, soffit, fascia, the list goes on. But the transparency portion of it is just being transparent with your clients. There's a lot of contractors out there that are going to say, oh, file everything. And it's not the right thing for the homeowner. So we just try to be really transparent. If we think it's a valid claim, then we're gonna pursue that. However, if it's not, we're going to advise you in the right way. That way you're not getting in weird waters with the insurance companies. So it's just best for both ends.
Talk about where it starts in terms of what your team is looking for. So there's obvious things like storm damage, if a tree falls through, obviously, or if you're missing shingles, but talk about kind of the assessment in terms of what you're looking for to assess the situation.
Yes. So when we're assessing the situation, we always go out, do a thorough roof inspection as well as drone inspection. So we're looking at the age of the roof, the repairability of it, if there are missing shingles or flashings or anything like that. And we always send a full photo packet to our clients and explain to them everything that's going on. That way they're not like in the dark and being like, okay, well, they said to file a claim, but why? We're going to point out all those things. You have wind damage here, you have hail impacts here, and et cetera.
How has the technology changed? I'm thinking in terms of the quality, the durability of shingles, of products, of siding. Talk about kind of what you've seen on that side in terms of the overall industry and the quality side, the innovation side.
So like every industry, it's always changing and growing. I mean, Owens Corning has a fantastic nail strip that they use now that's going to be really great for wind resistance and all that stuff. The main importance is, I'm not saying all shingles are created equal because there's higher quality ones and, more luxurious ones, but it really comes down to the installation. As long as you have a good, proper roof installation, that's really going to be like the key component of having a roof that lasts a long time.
How far do you all spread geographically? So talk about your coverage area.
Yes, so we are all of Middle Tennessee. I say that. However, we do work like out in Knoxville and stuff like that. And we've done work out in Southern Kentucky. That's residential wise. Commercial, we do have a nationwide team.
When you look at the commercial side, talk about some of the trends, the different things that you're seeing for the business side.
So a lot of the trends that we've been seeing on the commercial side, it's hard because obviously commercial buildings are a lot larger scope, so they're a lot more money. We do lots of repairs. However, the commercial world, lots of EPDM, TPO, that type of stuff. But yeah.
When you look at the residential side, same kind of question is, what are you seeing? Because obviously from Middle Tennessee, when you look at heavy winds, rain, ice, things like that, what are some of the things that you're seeing either on your end with your team highly recommending or homeowners asking more questions about?
So on the residential side, most of the questions that we get from them, honestly, tends to be walking them through the insurance process. It's a really kind of complicated process and a lot of people haven't really dealt with it. So our team really tries to go in and explain to them step by step what they need to do and how it needs to be done. And just give them clear transparency so no one's confused on either end.
When you have a homeowner who does have damage, especially with all the storms recently, what's the best step? So talking about kind of the insurance process, is it best to reach out to the insurance, their company, and start navigating through that? Is it best to reach out, to Intercept Roofing? Talk about the process and what you recommend so that homeowners do it correctly.
Yes. So it kind of goes both ways. A lot of insurance people will say, reach out to me first. What I do not recommend is filing a claim before anyone has gotten out there. A lot of people, they'll have storms like the ones we just had this past week, and they'll just call up and file a claim. They really need to make sure that, one, they're getting someone to look at that roof and make sure it's a viable claim before they're doing that process. Just because you don't want a pointless claim on your record, and the insurance is going to follow that. So you just want to make sure that when you are filing your claim, that it's a valid claim and that it's not a claim for, just one missing shingle or one piece of siding or flashing, that kind of stuff.
So I mentioned veterans at the beginning. Talk about your support of the veterans and veterans community.
Yes. So we are veteran owned and operated. Every year on Veterans Day, we give a free roof away to a veteran in need. We're also work very closely with the VTC in Williamson County. So that's the Veteran Treatment Court. It helps rehabilitate veterans that have gone into drug addiction, drinking problems, all that stuff. And we do whatever we can to help them. One of our owners has a direct line to them. So if they need help moving somebody, if they need monetary things, we're always there to help them with that.
Why is that support, especially for veterans, obviously it's near and dear to, you and your owners' hearts, but why is community support so important to Intercept Roofing?
Community support is so important to us just because, we say we're in roofing, but we're actually in a people business. Helping the community and just making sure people are getting taken care of is what we're focusing on all the time. So like right now, even with the recent windstorms, yes, there are contracts and things that need to be signed, but our priority right now is tarping, tarping people, helping people with this upcoming weather, making sure that they're protected, aren't going to get any further damage with the rains, and just making sure we're being a blessing to everyone around us.
Talk about time frames. So when you look at your workload, obviously it's busy season. It will continue to get busier. Talk about kind of timing on your end in terms of when you come out and assess it, when you're able to start activating, is there a supply shortage of product? Talk about timing.
Yes. So with timing, it really depends on if you're a retail or an insurance client. If you're insurance, we have to wait on them to send out the adjuster, wait for them to release the funds, all that stuff. However, if it's just a retail client, typically we can get the process done a little bit faster. Right now, we're on about a 2 to 4 week time frame for building stuff out. If it's smaller repairs and stuff like that, we have a pretty quick turnaround, but it really just depends whether it's retail or insurance work.
Is there a busy season, or is it one of those where it ebbs and flows dramatically throughout the year, or it's pretty consistent throughout the year?
Here in Middle Tennessee, we get the craziest weather. So we always think that, this time of year, springtime tends to be the busiest. Just as it gets warmer, people start noticing more things on the outside of their homes. But it's really more so weather dependent. Just like right now with these strong winds, we are so backed up. And last year we got a random ice storm in like February or March. So it's just stuff like that will suddenly get spikes in the volume of clients that we're having to deal with. But yeah.
Are there any tips for homeowners to take better care of their roofs? So when you look at, longevity, are there certain things kind of like, getting your oil changed with your vehicle and, the regular maintenance? Are there certain things like that to, extend the life of your roof?
Yes, absolutely. So if your roof is in a place where a lot of debris can build up, we always recommend just getting that cleaned off. If you need like a power washing or a soft wash is what you would do on the roof, just make sure you're getting that clean. You don't want like excessive algae growth on there. It'll just shorten the lifespan of the shingles. And then as well as cleaning out your gutters. When your gutters are all full and backed up and that rain comes in, it just starts pushing the water up towards the roof. And in the winter time, especially here in Middle Tennessee, ice dams are very prone. We're very prone to ice dams. So just making sure those gutters are clean, clearing debris off the roof, not letting it sit up there for a long time. All those things are going to help expand the life of your roof.
How often should the gutters be cleaned out?
I wouldn't say there's a specific often time. It really depends on just how many trees you're around. If you're seeing that your gutters are overflowing from the ground, it's probably time to get them cleaned. But I'd probably say at least once a year, if not like every 6 months. But again, if you're in an area that has a bunch of trees, it may be something more like every 2 to 3 months, but just depends.
Talk about the siding in that side of your business. Talk about what that entails, opportunities there, big trends that are exciting. So talk about siding.
Yes. So with siding, we do lots of siding repairs. It's just with the weather again here in Middle Tennessee, we just get these strong winds and it'll blow off these smaller pieces of siding, and we will go in there and help people out. And then, yeah, I mean, there's not really too much craziness to siding, but yeah.
What's your favorite part of working at Intercept Roofing?
My favorite part of working at Intercept Roofing is just being a part of a team that is doing so much good. I really feel like everyone here, we're always trying to help people, educate, whether it be educating them, whether it be putting a new roof on them. Sometimes we go out to clients and we're like, you don't need anything. Like, you are all good. And it's just great being able to like go out there, and we'll have people write like Google reviews being like, yeah, they came out here and told me I don't need anything. There's so many companies around that are going to go out and be like, just try to find something, but here we're trying to be a blessing, trying to help people, just be transparent, break that status quo that contractors seem to have, and do the best we can for all of our clients.
And talk about why that is so important in terms of breaking that stigma. And, just like you said, when someone comes out and says, hey, you're good, you don't need, any repairs, you're good where you are. I think that level of comfort and assurance, having a professional say you're okay, but then know that you don't have to spend, in many cases, a lot of money, that's a huge comfort for a homeowner. And so I think that goes, like you said, to breaking the stigma of they're always out to get you, right? And so talk about why that's so important for Intercept Roofing, but for really kind of being the role model, leading by example for the industry.
Yeah. So it's just so important for us because, again, all of our owners had been in the industry for such a long time, and we kind of saw behind the scenes how things were going on and how customers were being treated. And it almost seemed so much like a dollar sign. And we really wanted to break that. I mean, our owners always say our provision comes from God. And it's just about, it's hard to explain. It's just about basically being a good person. Just be a good person, be honest. And you will see so many more referrals, so many more clients by just doing the right thing. It sounds so simple, but it's like so many people just forget that with the daily things of life, and just being a good person.
Absolutely. Well, hey, when you do the right thing, then good things happen in return. And so, do you ever drive around the city or drive around and say, oh, these are all roofs that we installed, or these are ones that we repaired? So do you have a chance to look around and see your work in action?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I don't drive by at least one house or roof that we've done, I probably didn't go anywhere. But yeah, it's always fun especially when we get new salespeople on board and training them and stuff, and being able to point out like, oh yeah, those are all ours. Those are all ours. And then just being able to kind of see like all the difference that we're making in the community. It's great. And it's empowering.
Well, let's wrap up with contact information. And so talk about website, phone number, social media. Where do we go to learn more and to reach out and connect?
Yes. So you can schedule an appointment at www.interceptroofing.com, or you can call our office line at 615-586-6885. We are also on Instagram at Intercept Roofing, and you can also find us on Facebook at Intercept Roofing.
That makes it very easy. InterceptRoofing.com, again, is the website. Valerie Wakefield, Marketing Director, Intercept Roofing. Thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.